the end of the day, hopefully there's better people out there than us, even if you are making a million plus a year or 10 million plus a year net profit. Like there's probably somebody out there that you can learn something from. So hopefully as Proline gets that plus 1 million net profit and Peach State Roofing gets that 1 million net profit, we can still be students because I think it's a more fun way to live anyways.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally
You end up-
agree.
yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say about going back to masterminds, the groups, like we have a couple different groups with Dave Sullivan, and those are like wildly. Most people in there do more revenue than Peach State Roofing does. They have different issues, different challenges than I do, and it's we try to limit it to actually 10 different guys, and there's 10 different companies basically. Sorry, Emily May, you're in there too. Emily's in there. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And we all learn from each other every single time. And then they're breaking off and texting each other and learning from like their different, like wherever they are in their business and their goals. And even in like geographic locations, they'll have similar challenges and similar solutions. Like if they're doing tile only, or they're doing roof cleaning in the Northwest, like whatever it is, it's wildly valuable. It's very rewarding to me to hear those stories from those guys who are messaging me. They're like, yeah, we text 2 or 3 times a week just to try to figure out like that's what it should be for every industry. Like that's one thing I'd say. If you're listening to this, like get into a mastermind. It doesn't have to be the roofer coach mastermind. Just get into one that's meaningful, that you can develop really good relationships with somebody who's a non-competing contractor who has similar goals. They don't have to be the same revenue or net profit that you are, but at least have somewhat similar goals in your life and your health and your business and your family, all those things. I would highly recommend that. And then you're just describing Tommy Mello to me, like A1 Garage, like you were just describing like the leader of leaders. Like that's he's wildly successful in that space. And it's follow people. If we're looking outside of the roofing, like if you don't love all the influencers in the roofing space, find somebody that you do think and you can respect outside of that space in a home service field. And he's one. I mean, he's definitely one that's just like, if you have certain goals, they don't necessarily have to be the same goals, but he is a leader of leaders. He is. He was on our podcast recently, and he was telling a story about during the downtime, and all of his
The
he had a
Roofer Show,
line.
right?
Yeah, the Roofer Show. He was
not this podcast.
Not this podcast. Sorry, the Roofer Show podcast. And he was telling us a story of like super emotional because he's like, yeah, all of my employees are lining up outside my door, which has never happened. This was like during 2008-9. And they're like, I'll take a pay cut. I'll do like all these things because he's, developed a culture in his business.
I think it was during 2020, you're saying, right? Or was it?
No, it was like a while ago. It was a while ago.